had something to say back. And then
Ja got in there. I didn't see that the first time.
I saw that the first time.
And with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
I'm a competitor, man. Yeah, come on now. Let's go, baby. I'm a competitor, so I just want to win.
He's just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time, and it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more, you know? We all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that.
A brand new video just hit the internet, and it's blowing up because it exposes a deep, fiery clash between Klay Thompson and Ja Morant. What started as simple back and forth on-court trash talk suddenly spiraled into something way more personal, full of pride, heat, and years of tension that neither side ever really let go of. Nobody in that arena expected what came next. This was supposed to be just another regular season matchup, nothing more than a quiet mid-November game, but on November 22nd, 2025, the atmosphere inside the roaring American Airlines Center flipped from routine to unforgettable in seconds. Fans could feel the tension rising possession after possession, and once the footage leaked online, it spread everywhere like a spark hitting dry grass.
Had something to say back. And then
Ja got in there. I didn't see that the first time.
I saw that the first time.
Like, man, listen, you can't talk shit about me, bro. You on the bench. You a talent, but you going to waste. We tired of seeing good talent go to waste,
that nigga,
bro.
That's
what Klay Thompson
said?
Yeah, he told that nigga you don't got no accountability.
He said you don't have no accountability, bro.
Man,
Ja told that
somebody
nigga,
got to help my nigga talk shit.
Ja told him you sad now.
He said you a bum now. He was like, we see what happens down this league.
I like that him tight. Ooh. Hey, they crazy, man.
You don't take no accountability. So Ja said he a bum, man.
He said he a bum now.
He said you sad now. So
here's where the whole thing started. Memphis rolled into Dallas for what should have been a normal in-season tournament game, but everyone could feel that hidden pressure building underneath the surface. The arena felt electric from tip-off, and both squads came out playing with the kind of intensity you usually see in a playoff elimination game, not a random date on the calendar. Memphis was dealing with injuries and missing Ja Morant because of a calf strain, but they still showed up ready to prove they could battle without their main guy. Meanwhile, the Mavericks, now rolling with Klay Thompson, Luka Doncic, and Kyrie Irving, were desperate to finally catch some rhythm after a shaky start to their season. From the very first possession, something felt different. The physicality cranked up fast, tough defense, elbows sneaking in, chippy moments everywhere, and neither team could score easily. As the second half hit, every little shove, stare down, or late contest added another layer of pressure, like the whole court was just waiting for one spark to set the whole thing off. Midway through the game, Klay got into a heated moment with Santi Aldama after Klay felt Aldama hit him with something he thought was a dirty move. The energy shifted instantly. The play also dragged in Mavericks rookie Cooper Flagg, the pressure-heavy top pick who's been under a spotlight since the moment he arrived in the league. He was just sliding over on a normal defensive rotation, but the contact made everything look way wilder than it actually was.
I'm a competitor, man. Yeah, come on now. Let's go, baby. I'm a competitor, so I just want to win.
because he fuck with Meg, you know what I mean?
Right.
So now you can't say nothing bad about Klay. It don't matter if Klay go 0 for 18.
Yeah.
Hey, that sound personal, You hear me? Most of the time when you have an altercation, you know, when cooler heads prevail, once you get to the locker room, you sweep it under the rug. But he ain't sweep it under the rug.
During a loose ball scramble, Aldama looked like he either stumbled or grabbed at Cooper Flagg, and Klay reacted fast, stepping right in like a veteran protecting his young teammate. For Klay, this wasn't just hoops. This was about respect, about showing the new guys that he's got their back every time, no hesitation. But that was only the beginning. Later on, Klay found himself clashing again, this time with Vince Williams Jr. The two got tangled on a play that Klay felt was pure exaggeration, something he saw as a move to bait the refs into giving an easy whistle. The crowd felt the shift immediately, and each hit, each screen, each stare down made the building louder and more intense. Even with all that chaos, Klay still hooped like a pro, dropping 22 points and splashing 6 out of 11 from deep, but Memphis stayed calm and steady, with different players stepping up to carry the load while Ja Morant was out, keeping their composure through a wild second half.
Well, with the tall guy, I thought just like, that's not cool. I've seen them do dirty stuff before. I remember in the playoffs 2022, they broke my teammate's elbow on a dirty hit. That was very reminiscent. That made me think of that. I don't like seeing that done to a rookie. That's not cool. I'll compete with all the other basketball players. Don't be dirty. That's not it. And Williams, I just kept that same energy, kept chirping. Thought he flopped when I got tied up with him. And then with Ja, he's a funny guy. He has a lot to say all the time, especially for a guy who rarely takes accountability. But you know what? That's for another day.
What did Ja have?
Is just running his mouth, and he's been running his mouth for a long time. And it's funny to run your mouth when you're on the bench. It's kind of the story of his career so far, just leaving us wanting more. You know, we all want to see him out there and do his best, but he's just been letting a lot of other stuff get in the way of that.
The game stayed tight all the way to the final moments, but when Klay Thompson's late three bounced off the rim, the Grizzlies locked in a 102-96 win, and as intense as the fourth quarter was, what happened right after the buzzer hit way harder? While Memphis celebrated their road win, Ja Morant, easy to spot in his blue hoodie and fresh dreadlocks, stepped onto the court with serious energy. Sports analysts later broke the whole scene down, including Shannon Sharpe, who explained the moment play-by-play for viewers. At first, it looked like Morant was just hyping up rookie Cam Spencer during his post-game interview. He was cheering him on, boosting his night, and adding extra spark to what should have been a simple moment on the mic. Spencer had hooped, and Morant wanted everybody to know it, but then everything flipped in a heartbeat. In a clip caught from every angle and replayed millions of times, Morant's focus suddenly shifted, and the trash talk that came next wasn't light at all. It was bold, direct, and aimed at one of the greatest shooters to ever touch a basketball. Morant walked straight toward Klay Thompson, who was still processing the loss, and pointed right in his face. Then came the line that sent the entire arena into shock. Morant brushed off Thompson's legendary status and said Cam Spencer was the best shooter on the court that night. This wasn't some playful moment. This was a straight-up challenge from a player not even suited up, aimed right at a four-time champ known for elite shooting. Klay reacted instantly, knocking Morant's hand out of his face and firing right back. In seconds, the vibe went from trash talk to something that needed shutting down fast. Teammates, coaches, and security sprinted in from every direction before things got physical. The footage showed everything. Morant leaning in with intensity, Thompson standing his ground, and young players like Cooper Flagg and Cam Spencer watching like they couldn't believe what was happening around them. The whole thing lasted under a minute, but it felt massive, like years of attitude, pride, and rivalry roaring to the surface at the worst possible time. Fans caught the moment on their phones, not knowing they were filming something that would take over every timeline, talk show, and group chat in the sports world. A normal November game had suddenly turned into a moment way bigger than basketball. A spark for conversations about respect, maturity, and the unwritten rules players live by. As security pulled both guys apart and they kept shouting from a distance, one thing was clear: this situation was far from over, and the aftermath hit even harder. If the confrontation on the court was explosive, everything that followed was straight up blazing. Normally, players cooled down after they hit the locker room, but Klay Thompson wasn't about to let this slide or treat it like a random regular season flare-up. What came next was one of the most raw, brutally honest post-game interviews the league had heard in years. Standing in front of his locker in full post-game gear, Klay didn't hesitate for a second when reporters asked about the moment with Ja Morant. He spoke with sharp, direct honesty, making it clear he wasn't dodging a single question. Every line Klay Thompson dropped hit like a punch, backed by everything he survived in his 13 years in the league.
And we need that in the NBA. We need our best players to be out there. And when you're a star, it comes with a great responsibility. And I hate to see that go to waste.
You know, he took little shots. He took little shots as if he was sitting on the other side of the spectrum like an analyst, like a pundit, you know, taking subtle shots based on his character and his actions and some of the things he's done on and off the court.
It just doesn't. I mean, you got to get a little lucky in this league. I've learned too. Like, you got to get some breaks with injuries. I mean, Paul and I have been through it, but just lucky to still be going for 5. Like, when I say that, I have no complaints. Like, I'll do it all over again.
The gun wasn't mine. It's not who I am. I don't condone any type of violence, but I take full responsibility for my actions. Made a bad mistake,
And I can see the image, that I painted, over myself, with my recent mistakes. But, in the future, I'm going to show everybody who Ja really is, what I'm about, and, change this narrative.
There was this one player on the Grizzlies who tweeted strength in numbers after they beat us in the regular season, and it pissed me off so much. I can't wait to retweet that thing. Freaking bum.
4 championship rings, tough injuries, and a career built on discipline. His words carried real weight, but Klay wasn't finished, not even close. His frustration with Ja Morant had clearly been building for a long time, and this moment turned into the release for all that bottled up tension. This wasn't just hoop talk anymore. This was a seasoned vet calling out what he saw as wasted potential and a lack of real accountability. Klay's frustration felt raw, his disappointment obvious, and his message was loud. Sharp talk is cheap, and championships come from discipline, consistency, and showing up when your squad needs you most. Then he delivered the final blow, speaking with the confidence of someone who truly understands what it takes to shine in this league, and the basketball world lit up instantly. Within hours, Klay's interview went viral, pulling millions of views and sparking non-stop debates across social media. Fans were split right down the middle. His supporters backed him strong, pointing to his legendary resume, the 60 points in 3 quarters, the 37-point quarter, the 14 threes in one game, and his status as one of the greatest shooters ever. To them, Klay had earned the right to speak freely, and they felt Morant owed a level of respect to a proven champion. But the critics clapped back just as fast. Some brought up Klay's recent shooting struggles and questioned whether he was hanging on to the past instead of adjusting to the present. One comment that went viral said, "Why don't you start making some shots so you won't be called a bum?" Klay echoing fans who felt his words were outdated. Others said he was talking like it was still 2015, ignoring that a new generation had already taken center stage. Even analysts like Shannon Sharp chimed in, pointing out how personal Klay's comments sounded, saying his approach went far beyond normal post-game frustration. This wasn't just emotion. This was history speaking. To really understand why things boiled over, you have to rewind to where this rivalry actually started. It began back in the 2022 Western Conference semifinals, a collision between the veteran Golden State Warriors and the young, fearless Memphis Grizzlies led by Ja Morant. The Warriors were a dynasty with Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green, while the Grizzlies were rising fast with bold confidence that sometimes stepped into disrespect. Everything ignited in Game 3 when Morant injured his knee on a play involving Jordan Poole. Morant claimed the play was dirty, sparking days of arguments between the two teams. Klay immediately defended Poole, drawing from his own painful injury history and refusing to let serious accusations go unchecked. From that moment on, the series got personal. Morant taunted the Warriors with dances, celebrations, and social media shots, while Golden State felt like the young Grizzlies were acting as if they'd already built a legacy they hadn't earned yet. The Warriors ended up winning the series and the championship, but the bitterness didn't fade. It stuck. Over the next few years, the rivalry kept breathing through regular season matchups filled with trash talk and online jabs. Morant kept poking at the Warriors, even yelling taunts at Stephen Curry in later games. Klay, meanwhile, became more outspoken, saying Morant's off-court decisions were blocking his real potential and comparing him to past Memphis legends like Zach Randolph, guys who earned their respect through toughness, not through social media. Klay Thompson had always been protective and competitive, a guy who never backed down when it came to defending his teammates. Those instincts only grew stronger with time, so when he left Golden State for Dallas in 2024, it wasn't just a new contract, it was a reset after years of feeling overlooked. And whether he wanted it or not, his rivalry with Ja Morant followed him straight into this new chapter. Stepping into Dallas meant Klay brought old battles with him, and when the Mavericks finally matched up with the Grizzlies, every buried moment came rushing to the surface. The clash on November 22nd wasn't some random flare-up, it was the result of years of tension, different values, and two totally opposite views on how basketball should be played. To Klay, Morant represented everything he disliked about the modern NBA. Too much flash, too many excuses, and not enough accountability. On the other side, Morant probably saw Klay as someone stuck in the past, holding on to old achievements while calling out the new generation for having confidence. Their clash didn't just stay on the court, it exploded everywhere the moment cameras caught it. ESPN, Bleacher Report, The Athletic, Yahoo Sports. Every platform broke down every second of the confrontation and dug into the long-running feud behind it. Then the story took over talk shows, podcasts, and opinion opinion columns, sparking debates about whether Klay was speaking truth or if Morant had crossed the line. Social media went wild too. Clips, edits, memes, fan reactions, everything spread in seconds. TikTok recreations pulled in millions of views, YouTube analysts posted breakdowns, Reddit threads were stacked with theories, and Twitter battles raged for days. Fans split sharply, by team loyalty, by age, and by what they believed respect should look like in today's NBA. Pretty soon, everyone realized this wasn't just two players arguing. It was a collision of two visions of the league. One side believed in tradition, discipline, and earning your stripes, and the other believed the new wave had every right to challenge the past if they had the talent to back it up. But what else did Klay believe was holding Morant back? To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to look at how different their journeys were. These weren't just two players trading words. Their careers, struggles, and personal battles shaped every second of that heated exchange. Klay Thompson's road to greatness started with talent, family guidance, and early exposure to the game. As the son of former NBA champion Michael Thompson, he grew up around hoops in Southern California and developed into a lights-out shooter at Washington State. When the Warriors drafted him 11th in 2011, it changed the entire NBA landscape. Alongside Stephen Curry, he built the legendary Splash Brothers, proving a three-point attack could power a dynasty. And Klay's resume, loaded. 4 championships, all-star selections, and unforgettable moments like 60 points in 3 quarters, 37 points in 1 quarter, and 14 threes in a single game. His defense and clutch play, especially in the biggest moments, earned him massive respect across the league. But Klay's path wasn't all highlights. His career almost ended with back-to-back injuries. A torn ACL in 2019, followed by a ruptured Achilles during rehab, stole more than 2 seasons from him and forced him to build everything back from scratch. Klay often talks about how those injuries changed his mindset, making him appreciate every high, every struggle, every comeback moment. Klay Thompson's return in January 2022 was emotional, and he helped the Warriors lift another championship trophy, but the injuries changed him in ways people didn't always see. His athleticism wasn't what it once was, even though his shooting stayed sharp. So when Golden State didn't make re-signing him a priority in 2024, it hurt. He felt overlooked by the franchise he poured everything into. Joining Dallas became more than a basketball decision. It became a new beginning, a spot where he could feel valued again. In Dallas, he embraced his mentor role, especially with young players like Cooper Flagg, and that protective energy showed up big during the run-in with Santi Aldama. Meanwhile, Ja Morant's journey followed a completely different road. Morant came from a small town in South Carolina and wasn't heavily recruited, but his breakout at Murray State turned him into a national sensation. Memphis drafted him 2nd overall in 2019, and he changed the entire vibe of the franchise with his explosive athleticism and fearless playing style. But with Morant's rise came real challenges. Several off-court controversies sparked concerns about his decision-making, drawing tough attention to his name. In 2023, he faced league scrutiny after appearing on social media with what looked like a firearm, leading to discipline from the NBA. Morant later addressed the moment publicly, saying he understood the seriousness of the situation and took responsibility for his actions. But 2 months later, another video surfaced showing Morant with a gun in a car, prompting NBA Commissioner Adam Silver to call his behavior reckless and issue a 25-game suspension to start the 2023-2024 season. Morant went through counseling and apologized again, but the hit to his reputation was heavy. The issues didn't fully slow down in the 2024-25 season either. At one point, he had a tense exchange with coaching staff after a loss to the Lakers, leading to a 1-game suspension for insubordination. Moments like these raised new questions about whether Morant could truly step into the leadership role Memphis needed, or if the distractions would keep overshadowing his talent. When he returned from suspension, Morant talked openly about the mental and emotional toll of being away from the game he loves, and that's why Klay Thompson's words cut so deep. When Klay called Morant out for avoiding accountability, he spoke as someone who had battled through brutal injuries, rebuilt his career from the ground up, and always showed up for his squad. His sharp line about Morant's career, leaving us wanting more, came from real frustration. Frustration at watching huge talent get held back by off-court choices. Right after the confrontation, fans and analysts wondered if the NBA would step in. As of November 23rd, 2025, the league still hadn't announced any fines or suspensions, but the incident was under review. And then the rumors started swirling again. Reports surfaced that the Sacramento Kings quietly reached out to the Memphis Grizzlies with one bold question: is Ja Morant even available in a trade? Sources like Clutch Points reported that it wasn't a real offer, just a temperature check to see if Memphis would even pick up the phone. But everything coming out of Memphis said the same thing. The Grizzlies aren't shopping Morant and haven't moved toward any serious trade talks. Even with an up and down season and a little less explosiveness, the franchise still views Morant as their core piece moving forward. The Kings, meanwhile, are in a tricky spot with their future uncertain, so the idea of adding a star with Morant's level of talent naturally sparked curiosity inside their building. A player like him could flip their whole direction overnight. But for now, nothing changes. Morant stays in Memphis, the Kings walk away with a quiet inquiry, and the rumor slides back into the non-stop swirl of NBA chatter. So now the big question lands on you. What do you make of everything that went down here? Did Thompson go too far, or was he just saying what someone needed to say? And where do you think Morant goes from here with all this drama surrounding him? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I want to hear what you think, and I appreciate every single one of you watching. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to BallScope so you never miss the next twist in the NBA world. If you want more breakdowns, wild moments, and deep dive drama, there are plenty of videos waiting for you on the channel. Catch you in the next one. Peace.